There is a moment every new rider knows. The engine is warm, the helmet is on, and your hand is shaking before you have even moved an inch. You tell yourself the exact same thing everyone else tells you. Just be careful. Just stay safe. Just do not become one of the statistics. That is what people call fear. But here is what they never tell you. Fear is not a wall. It is a door. And the person who learns to read it, instead of running away from it, gets to see what is waiting on the other side. Let us be completely honest about something first. If the fear of riding was really about safety or about cold statistics, you would have already made a rational decision to never get on the bike in the first place. You would put the keys away, sit on your sofa, and feel completely fine about it. But you are not fine. You are sitting right here. You keep coming back to it, thinking about it late at night, watching videos, and feeling that strange pull toward two wheels. That is your very first clue. This is not a logic problem. This is a psychological one. The fear you are feeling barely cares about the mathematical odds. It cares about something much older, something deeply buried in the primitive part of your brain that watches the world and constantly asks one simple question: are we safe right now? Understanding that exact mechanism is the whole game. So let us look closely at the 3 locks that keep you trapped, and the hidden keys to open them. The first lock is your threat detection system, known as the amygdala. This is the part of your brain that has kept mammals alive for hundreds of millions of years. It is not slow, and it is certainly not thoughtful. It is lightning fast. It fires long before your conscious mind can process a single word, because thinking takes far too long when a predator is leaping toward you. Here is the exact problem with riding a motorcycle. The amygdala does not read statistical charts. It does not care that millions of riders commute every single day without incident. All it recognizes is this: that machine is big, it is made of heavy metal, it moves fast, and it can hurt you. So it screams danger at the top of its lungs. And because it fires first, and because it is so loud, you mistake that intense alarm for a reliable warning. That is the trap. Your fear is a false alarm, not a forecast. The physical feeling in your chest is real, but the information it is giving you is entirely false. So your very first move is not to fight or silence the alarm. It is to stop treating it as a reliable narrator of reality. The second lock is the internal narrator in your head. Every single rider knows this voice intimately. It is the quiet, persistent voice that starts scribbling a catastrophic script before you have even turned the ignition key. It whispers, "You are going to drop the bike. You will embarrass yourself. Everyone on the street is watching you." Remember that graphic video you watched online of the rider losing control at the intersection? Psychologists call this the internal narrator, that running mental commentary that turns a simple moment into a high-stakes rehearsal for disaster. Here is the hidden truth about that narrator. It does not actually want to keep you safe. It wants to keep you predictable. It wants your life to stay small and legible, because the narrator can only write about a world it already understands. Think back to a moment when you were completely absorbed in a fast-paced sport, a complex physical task, or a moment of pure focus. At speed, the internal narrator does not just quit, it gets completely outmaneuvered, because riding demands so much absolute physical and mental presence that your brain literally cannot afford to keep running its doom script. There is zero bandwidth left for doubt. The famous flow researcher Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called this flow state the rare mental space where action and awareness merge into one, and the loud egoic self gets completely quiet. The narrator does not disappear because you fought it or scared it away. It disappears because you gave your mind something far too demanding to dwell on negative thoughts. The third lock is the one that keeps you paralyzed even when you try to be brave. It is called the avoidance cycle. Here is exactly how it works in real life. You think about going out for a ride. The thought immediately creates an uncomfortable knot in your stomach, So you decide to put the helmet back on the shelf, leave the bike in the garage, and go back inside. The very second you walk away from the bike, that uncomfortable tension vanishes, and you feel instant relief. Your brain, being a brilliant pattern recognition machine, immediately takes notes. It says, "See, avoiding the bike was the correct choice. Avoiding the bike brought us peace." So the act of avoidance gets neurochemically rewarded, and the underlying fear gets fed. The next time you think about taking the bike out, that discomfort is not smaller, it is slightly bigger. This is the fear avoidance cycle, and it is the single biggest reason why incredible bikes sit gathering dust under covers for years. People do not quit riding because they lack passion. They quit because they keep rewarding their fear through constant avoidance. Every time you skip the ride, you pay the fear a small fee, and the fear will keep collecting as long as you pay it. The only way out of this trap is the exact opposite of what your fear demands. It is called graded exposure, the psychological practice of facing the uncomfortable stimulus in tiny, deliberate, highly measured doses until your nervous system recalibrates itself. You do not jump onto the highway on day one and hope for the best. You do not cower in fear under the garage light either. You take steps that are small, slow, and repeatable. On day one, you simply walk out to the garage, sit on the bike in the driveway, and do not even turn the key. Just sit there and feel the weight of the machine between your legs. On day two, you turn the key, start the engine, let it idle, and just listen to the rhythm of the exhaust. On day three, you pull out of the driveway, ride 3 houses down the road, turn around, and park it back in the garage. On day 4, you ride to the end of the street. On day 5, you take a single roundabout. Each tiny step sends a direct, unshakable message straight to your amygdala. That thing I thought was going to destroy me. I just did it, and I am still here. Bit by bit, the loud alarm stops screaming, because the alarm has been proven wrong enough times. So here is the reframe that changes everything about how you view your bike. Fear was never asking you to stay safe in a bubble. It was asking you for control. Control over an unpredictable, chaotic world that it could not foresee. And a motorcycle is the one honest machine that gives true agency back to you. When you are balancing on 2 wheels, there are no airbags to hide behind, no digital safety nets, and no autopilot options. Every single input belongs to you. You are the single author of every movement, every turn, and every stop. That is not recklessness. That is pure personal authorship. The philosopher Robert Pirsig, in his classic book Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, called the open road a path to understanding yourself, because the machine flatly refuses to let you lie. If you are not present, the bike instantly tells you. If you are not fully committed to the line, the corner forces you to pay attention. The sharp fear you felt at the start was never a sign that you could not handle this machine. It was the undeniable proof that you were standing right at the threshold, about to leave the small, safe room where you had been hiding for far too long. So here is my question for you, not the one you leave in the comment section below, but the honest answer you give to yourself in the quiet moments. Is the fear in your chest telling you to stop and give up? Or is it telling you that you are finally standing directly in front of the door? If you have been sitting on the fence for months, or staring at a motorcycle that has not moved out of the garage in ages, take this as your sign. Subscribe to Driven Psyche, because on this channel we go far deeper than mechanical specs and engine sizes. We go straight into the mind behind the machine. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the one specific thought or fear that has been keeping you off the bike? I read through every single story, and if you want, we will turn this into a full series covering the fear, the very first ride, and the 100 rides that follow. Keep your mind focused, ride smart, and stay driven.